Hey boys and girls, Miss St. Pierre's 8th grade main studies class. I'm sorry I'm finally getting to do this video here. I'm gonna have to look at my phone for the notes. Alright, I got the notes here. Not sure how this will be. We'll see how it comes out here. Hopefully good enough where I can edit this up and give it to Miss St. Pierre. We got Timber with us. Timber, you want to say hi? Hey, want to say hi? Hey, come say hi. Oh, yes. That's Timber. So I've got the notes here, and as you can see, it's not winter anymore. We stopped for mud season, but I'm back up here on the job. And I think we'll try to run through these notes a little bit and see if I can add anything else into here. So I got a nice email from Miss St. Pierre with all your questions, and I'm going to try to answer them to the best of my ability and knowledge. And some of it may be some of the questions probably will be a guess because I don't have an exact answer, but we'll see how it goes. So the first question is, what are the dangers of logging? Well, we'll stick to mechanical logging, which is like this piece of equipment here. And there are plenty of dangers that you always want to be careful of, because anything that has moving parts, all these big arms, this blade here, if you never want to be around that blade if it's turning, it also will throw chunks of wood. So whenever you're around a piece of equipment, you want to make sure everything is grounded, that nothing's up in the air or nothing can shift or move, and slips, trips, and falls. I should be wearing a hard hat if I'm answering this question, but also you might be out in the woods tinkering on this machine for whatever reason, and there could be a broken limb or something that falls. So there's a lot of dangers involved. There's also, when you're working on stuff, there's wrenches and tools, and you just always got to be aware of your surroundings. That's just something that you've got to be cautious of. And we'll move on to number 2, which is, does the equipment take gas or diesel? It all takes diesel. None of the equipment runs on gas. About how many trees get cut down every year? Well, that's a hard one. And that's the third question. I would say hundreds of thousands of trees. I don't know if it's in the millions. It could be. It would be a total guess, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was around upwards of 1 million trees. Let's find the fourth one here. How has the wood harvesting industry evolved, and how can it improve? Well, I've been doing this since 2004. Let me think about that. And what have I seen in the last, not 20 years, but 15, 17 years? Well, we've seen a lot of the paper mills, which has been one of the biggest mills, or some of the biggest mills, and where we supply most of the volume of our wood, have changed. As when I was your age, we really didn't have smartphones and tablets and all that stuff, so people are using less paper. You guys aren't buying magazines. I'm not buying magazines. Not as many books, newspapers, all that stuff. So all the paper mills have kind of transitioned. We've lost a lot of them, but the ones that are here have transitioned into, as you can imagine, Amazon. Packaging, food packaging, cardboard, all sorts of stuff like that. And they're also developing newer technologies like wood fibered insulation, like you put in your house. Trying to think what else. With fuel prices going up, there's pellet mills that we supply pulp, which would have gone to the paper mills that are making, they look like little chicken feed pellets that you burn in a stove. You have biomass, and then a lot of innovations in the mills in general, lumber mills and all that stuff that are more efficient. And that's kind of the way the world is going, especially the woods business, is less people, more production, more efficiency. So if you guys were ever to work in the woods business, more than likely it's all automated. You're not out in the woods with a chainsaw or anything. It's more like a computer game or PlayStation or something like that. Number 5, what is wood pulp? Where does it come from? Well, pulp is a low-grade product that can't make a log. So on the lower end of, let's say, hardwood, there's pallet logs, and then as you go up, there's like grade logs that might be furniture or flooring. And hardwood pulp is pretty much any piece of wood that there's a certain spec. Timber, I gotta rein the boss man in over here. Come on, Timber, come on, get away from the road. Timber, come on, come here, good boy. Sorry about that, kids. So it's basically any, whether it's softwood or hardwood, it's any product that can't be turned into a log. Let's go down the line here. Number 6, how many different types of machines are there? Well, I'd say mainly what you're gonna have is you're gonna have a fellow buncher, like right there. You're gonna have a processor, which I've showed you in the last video, a forwarder, which you saw. There's grapple skidders, chippers. There's a big crane, which is basically like, it's a big loader with a cab and everything that's mounted on a trailer that loads trucks and cuts logs and pulp. And I don't have that on my style operation. You might have a bulldozer, an excavator, or something like that, but mainly those type of things. Number 7, is it hard to use the machine that cuts the trees? Well, I don't think so, but I've been doing this for a while. There's a lot of tricks, a lot of little things that you pick up along the way, and if you really like running equipment, you'll figure it out. It's like a video game, pretty much. Number 8, how many different types of trees or species of trees do you cut down or have on your property? Well, why don't we take a little walk in the woods, guys? All right, Timber and I are back in the woods here, and I'm gonna try to point out, it might not be every tree that is on the job or you have on your property, but it's gonna be some of the most common ones. So this tree right here is an ash tree. You can see the bark. There's a real kind of coarse and grainy, and it's longer grains, and you know, it's got a different type of top to it. But this is you make logs out of it. This makes hardwood logs, also makes real good firewood. And right here, this is a soft maple. Bark's a little more scaly, and you can see, well, this is a younger soft maple, and the bark's a lot smoother. And soft maple is very common. That's going to be pretty much on any piece of property. And soft maple makes pallet logs and hardwood logs. And we'll move on and find the next ones I want to show you guys. Here's another one. You can see how this is a big balsam fir tree, and that's very common too. It's basically what you have for a Christmas tree in your house at Christmas time. And If it's sound and solid, it makes pulp or fir logs, which will be framing material for your house. And this is a spruce. This is a white spruce, which is a little different and a little less, I mean, it's fairly common, but than our normal red spruce. But this is spruce is more framing material, like for your house and stuff, and more common. We cut a lot more of that here than fir. We cut a lot of fir too, but. And this is a white birch. You can see why they call it white birch. I don't see any around here, but there's also a yellow birch that's very similar, but it's yellow. They both make logs. Yellow birch is a little more high quality than this. We'll go over here, and it's not a real big one, but this is our, I don't know if any of you boys and girls know, but this is our state tree. This is the white pine. Not a real big one. I'm sure you all know what a pine tree is, but that's a white pine, and that's very common. We also, this is a bigger soft maple, but also another common tree like this is sugar maple or rock maple, which is where we get our maple syrup from, and it's also a much higher value log tree than a soft maple. There's also American beech, which I don't see any right close. So you have beech trees. What else is there that might be common that I haven't thought about? Hemlock. Hemlock's another common one, kind of a low grade softwood. Those are most of your what you're gonna see on a job. There's some oak too. Oak's another very common one. Those are generally most of timber swimming in the mud. Timber, get out of there. That's most of the common trees you guys will see. Let's see if we can move on to the next one. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Who buys the wood? All the paper mills, log mills, stuff like that, they all have wood buyers that will contact loggers, and they will buy the wood. Do you need a special license to drive the machinery? No, you do not. You do need a special license to drive the big truck. How much did it cost, fumbling my words, to start your business? The very first piece of equipment I bought was a cable skidder, and it was $24,500, and I had 2 chainsaws that were $600 a piece. What made me decide to go down this career path would just reading the other part of the question. Well, I mean, I was a young person like you guys at one point, and I was more of a hands-on learner. I liked being outdoors. I liked doing stuff with my hands. I was always very interested in equipment, and logging just seemed so cool to me. And my brother-in-law now, family was in the woods business, and I just really liked it, and I ended up going down that path. How profitable is the logging industry? That is a great question, and it varies very much. You don't have to have a degree to be in logging, but you do need to have some business smarts, and that, for me, has come through a lot of hard lessons and learning things the hard way. If you're smart and you work hard and you're dedicated and disciplined, you can make a pretty good living doing this. Do the trees have to be a certain size to cut down? No, but yes, there's a merchantable size. What I mean by that is this little white birch here is not merchantable. You can't make a piece of pulp with that. So it's got to be a certain size to even go to the pulp mill. It does matter if you're working for a specific landowner that is having his or her forest managed, then the prescription that they might give you to cut would have certain sizes of certain species or marked trees to cut. Let me move to the next one. Every time I move my phone, it moves where I was on the screen. What is the hardest type of tree to harvest? It depends on the tree. And it depends on how it grows. So I don't think there's any specific type that is the hardest. I think it depends on what type of conditions it was grown in. How can you tell the difference between the different types of trees? Well, you kind of, it's like glasses for your eyes. If any of you boys or girls need glasses, you need them to be able to read things right or see things clearly. Well, when you've been logging long enough and you're cutting all these woodlots, your eyes get trained. And so I have like my logging glasses, and you teach yourself and you learn how to distinguish between the different types of species. Again, I moved my phone. Okay, what happens if a tree falls from the truck? Well, that really doesn't ever happen because like when Mark loads the trucks, when he's done loading the trucks, he straps them down so the load's secure, so that doesn't happen. How long do you need to train to work in this field? Well, there is some schools, the PLC, if Miss St. Pierre wants to look into it, has a mechanical logging school where you could go and get some experience before you enter into the woods business, but most of it's on-the-job training. What types of trees are most popular? Well, I would say most of the hardwoods that I've shown you is grouped into one bunch, but pine, spruce are pretty popular. Do you enjoy your job? Is it a passed down business? Okay, sorry, stumbled there a little bit. I gotta yell at Timber, so why don't you guys hold on. All right, we're back. He likes to wander off when I'm answering your guys' questions. He likes to go out through the woods and sniff around. Do you enjoy your job? Is it passed down? Yes, I love my job. There's times, like any job, where the stress of production and money gets to you, but I like what I do. Did it get passed down? No, it did not. I'm a first generation logger. I started this on my own with a little help, but not too much. So it kind of shows you guys that if you guys really want to do something, whatever it is, you put your mind to it, you can make it work. Do you replant trees after cutting some down? In some, I don't. There are some types of harvest where they do, but mostly the Mother Nature replants itself. All these little saplings in here that you see that are small are all from a previous harvest. So most jobs replant themselves. Let me see here. So I guess that's all the questions. I was thinking there was a little more, and I'm trying to think if there's anything I can add. it's a good business to be in Maine. It's a good business to be in if you love nature and you love the outdoors and you're good with your hands, and it's a great business to be in if you like to see what got done at the end of the day. A lot of jobs nowadays, you don't get to see what you have accomplished at the end of the day. And when you're logging at the end of the day, if you got some big piles of wood or the trucks moved a certain amount of wood, you get to see what you've done, and there's a lot of gratification in that. If you enjoy entrepreneurship, which maybe I'll figure out someday, if you have that entrepreneurship bug, it can be very fun. You're excited about the future and what you can do different, how you can be better, more disciplined, more efficient, and make a better job and business for the people that work for you, and do a good job for the landowner and the woods. So that's some of the things that I really enjoy about this. And it's all right here. It's all right in Maine. It all grows back. And you can see what you've done. And there's a lot of great people in this business. And that's whether you're a girl or a boy, you can be in this business. Don't let that hold you back. If you're good and disciplined and a hard worker, there's a spot here for you. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I answered the questions good enough so that you can kind of understand. And I'm kind of in a brain cramp here. Well, I can't remember where I left off there. But also, there's a big shortage of young people getting into the woods business. And so we need younger men and women to get into the business. And there'll only be growing demand for it and better technology. So thanks again for paying attention, listening, and if you guys want to like, subscribe, or comment, that'd be cool too. So be good and listen to Miss St. Pierre, and we'll catch you next time.